Hey guys, and welcome to a bonus episode of the Modern Spore Let's Play series. In the last few episodes I've been mentioning that I want to kind of do a bit of a makeover of some of our buildings and vehicles, since in the Civ stage I got a little bit lazy with some of them. The buildings I'm actually quite happy with, but you guys suggested some interesting alternatives. And for the vehicles, wait, hold on. Why is this like half missing? Or any other side that— oh, that one's not very happy. Right, okay, that may be from where I was getting overrun by epics at the end of the Civ stage. I will fix that in a bit. But, yeah, as I was saying, when it came to the vehicles, I made the land vehicle. It was special. It was very, very special and well thought out. That city is absolutely empty. Wow. I made the spaceship, which I'm really happy with. I mean, I don't think the spaceship needs any changes at all. I did forget to add the wings. I'll have to see if I can trim down any detailing to get the wings back on, or to put them on, either way. But when it came to the sea vehicle and the air vehicle, I just nicked them off other people. So we're going to try and, we're going to spend this episode just having a bit of fun, a bit of creativeness. Kind of like I do on my live streams, and just sit back and make a bunch of creations. What is going on over here then? Oh, that's the sea vehicle. Okay, I don't want to change it anymore. Like, look at that! Look at that, just randomness of Loch Ness monsters all gathering and waiting to get the spice. What is going on there? Oh, I don't even know. Anyway. Yeah, right, so let's go ahead and make some changes to our buildings then, shall we? I will probably be doing this episode sped up, since, let's be honest, if I'm making like 4 buildings of the same theme, I can only really ramble for so long. So for this portion of the video, it'll be sped up, a little montagey. Hopefully I can think of something to say in the overlay. But as always guys, I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy just a bit of a different kind of episode. As always though, the next one will be, you know, normal schedule, normal theme, etc, etc. But guys, sit back, relax, and let's do some creating, shall we? Now, first things first is, of course, the City Hall. One thing that I wanted to do with all of my buildings was to increase the height of which they float from the ground, that way to encourage the whole floating theme of the city. Now, one of the ideas that some of you guys had in the comments was to include crystals into it, to have sort of a mystical vibe, which, going by the whole psychic theme that we're using so far, I thought, you know what, that could possibly work. And I played with some ideas. I checked out, you know, the current structure that we have of our buildings now. I like the way that I made the buildings, so instead of making the floating industrial platforms, I've instead turned it into floating crystals. And as you guys saw a moment ago, I was experimenting with a bunch of different colours. I wanted to get something shiny, but as you can see, like, a lot of the patterns and the textures don't really quite work, but I think this one's close enough. And, of course, all the floating shards of crystalline, you know, stuff to encourage the whole floating aspect. And for the City Hall, since it's the important building in the centre of the city, I wanted the crystal to be protruding through the structure. And the next thing, the civilian household. Now, once again, I raised the entire thing up a bit. I've been changing the pink platforms to grey, since some people didn't like the pink, which is fair enough. But also, the grey just seems more metallic. It seems to, you know, encourage the whole crystal a bit more. Imagine great big metallic structures or bindings, like clamping the crystal in place, you know, something like that, or maybe the crystal kind of holding it in. I'm not quite sure, but it felt like they complemented each other a bit better. The entertainment, I decided to keep it where it was in terms of height. I've also been changing all of the foliage and such into crystals as well. Almost as if wherever the crystals had come from, they had intergrained or I want to say pollute or corrupt. That's not really the words I'm after, but they're taken over the foliage in their life, but not the grass. It doesn't really make much sense. But then again, it is Spore. For the factory, I wanted to just ditch the entire spice production thing entirely. Another thing that you guys suggested was to have the factory to be producing the whole anti-gravity thing. And since we're going with floating crystals, I figured, alright then, the factory can produce crystals. I don't know if there's going to be a synthetic or artificial, or if there's just going to be refining and such. I'm not entirely sure. But as you can see here with the fans at the bottom, the idea I had for the factory was it'd be the main producer. So while it might not necessarily be floating itself, it kind of requires that industrial, you know, artificial floating that the crystals aren't benefiting the building with. Rather, the building can be prioritising other buildings in the city. And for the land vehicle, as weird as the initial design was, I quite liked it. It had a bit of a quirkiness to it. I've also discovered that with the latest version of DarkEdgeTV's 2.5.6, if I remember correctly, I apologise if I got that wrong. It included a couple more cockpits and pieces and such to adorn the creation with, so I went a bit crazy. Same with the C vehicle. Now for the C vehicle, I took some time to kind of really decide on my ideas, since I just used a dancer creation from someone else. And one of you guys suggested a submarine. Now with the whole crystal ideas, it gave me an idea for how to progress the city, you know, in the next episode. And the submarine felt like a really perfect fit. And also, it just makes a bit of a change, because I've always been going with regular boats, like Viking boats and such. This time I wanted something a little bit more mechanical. And it was an awesome excuse to use the brand new cockpits and designs. And for the colour scheme, I went with the spaceship from the Dressrosa Spinax Empire. Since it was nice and dark and industrial, I wanted something strong metallic. For the aircraft, I had absolutely zero idea. We had no ideas, no inspiration. People did suggest making the grill into a air vehicle, but because I've already done that with the spaceship, it kind of I didn't have the option to do it here. Not if I'm going to do it twice. That seems a little bit pointless. So after a bit of thought and after making the submarine, I figured, all right, maybe make one of those large, big, flat military airships. So I kind of googled a couple of ideas, just trying to get something a little bit more militarized, and not sure how much I succeeded in, you know, like anything accurate, but for a Spore creation, you know, I'm pretty happy with it. I don't normally make anything military, so I was happy with it in the end. Alright then guys, so we're now done with the whole buildings and vehicles. Just as a quick little summary of the general theme I was going for. So one of the ideas that you guys mentioned in the comments was to have some sort of crystalline floating city, since we're already going with the whole city theme. So I wanted to try to do the whole crystals. Obviously it's not the best thing in the world. They do look a little bit strange, but I wanted to keep the buildings, wanted to keep the like the housing, the little entertainment structure, because honestly I like how it went. I did get rid of the pink though to make it a little bit more industrial, I guess, and you'll understand why soon. But for the crystals, the idea I had in mind was that the crystals are either one of two things. They're either summoned, or like perhaps, you know, like via psychic magic stuff, I don't know, they are like taken from the ground, or as you can see from the factories, maybe they're created. So maybe they're like refined, you got the little small bits here, or maybe they're industrialized or created. Don't really know which one I'm preferring here, but again, to go with the whole psychic theme of these strange little creatures with floating arms, now I have a great big floating city. On top of that, I made the factory like with the spinning cogs at the bottom, to once again kind of emphasise the fact that the factory is the one producing it. That the little ones here is, you know, sort of a work in progress. It's prioritising the other buildings first, mainly the city hall, of course. I don't know, it's the kind of idea I had in mind. And then for the vehicles, as silly, as very silly as the land vehicle looked, it had a bit of a charm to it, which I liked. So I decided to just, you know, like buff it out, make it bigger. Again, more industrial. Same with the sea vehicles. As much as I loved the herd of Loch Ness monsters, one person did suggest a submarine, and that goes perfectly with an idea that I'm going to be having for the planet. So, submarines. And of course the air vehicles, or the airplanes. Not sure why it's got an orange tint, probably because of the, you know, like the faction. But I can't get like a proper look of these. Well, you saw it in the editor anyway. Once again, the whole industrial theme. I have an idea for the planet. A lot of you guys have mentioned different ideas. Some said make the planet underwater. I don't know how that will work, but I'm willing to test it. Some said return it to lava state. Others said, hey, maybe in a frost state. Either way, so I'm going to be playing with that off camera, seeing what works, seeing if it breaks my game. That'd be very bad if it did. And overall, trying to make the whole floating city work really well. But anyway, so we got the city done, we got the vehicles done. There's one more thing I have to do, and that is give our guys some outfits. So first of all, I'm going to start with the colonists. Whatever outfits I give to the colonists will not affect my captain. We on freedom? Yeah, we are, good. So this will just be for the colonies for whenever I zoom into my planet, I talk to my, you know, the guy in the camera who goes beep boop. that one will show this outfit here. Now the question is, how am I going to do this? I kind of like the idea of using like a lot of these kind of pieces. I wonder. It's like I've said before, like a lot of you guys probably don't believe it, but I am not the most confident when it comes to building some vehicles, and still, like, I'm experimenting a lot, so I've always said to everyone, when it comes to making things in Spore, experiment. Go out your comfort zone, learn new things, and that is what I'm doing a lot in the Let's Play series. As you guys can probably see by the fact that I'm finally making buildings, I'm finally making vehicles. They're not the greatest things, but to be fair, you know, like, obviously in my own opinion, you are your own worst critic. But in my case, I feel like the buildings and vehicles I've been making for these Let's Plays, for Season 1 and Season 2, they're better than what I normally do. Like, there's still a lot of flaws, a lot of things I wish could be improved upon, but it comes down to practice. And I've just always been into organic creations. I've always been into, like, creatures and such, as you guys know. Which is why I don't make very many mechs. I just don't think that way. But, yeah, this is a little bit finicky, so I had a bit of an idea for this. Make it... Since, you know, I'm trying to think how to describe this. Since they are like psychic creatures, they kind of feel like maybe a little bit superior, or they don't require armor, all that kind of stuff. Like, normally when I make my outfits, I normally have like a very civilized appearance, or with a bit of armor, and a bit of, you know, that kind of stuff. I don't really think that is needed for this. Rather, I'd like it to have some... I'm trying to think of the best word to describe. I guess like soft clothing. I'm thinking not quite Victorian, but something among that. And obviously with this kind of creature, it's going to be very hard to do that, but I am going to give it a go regardless. I wonder, what is the normal tactic I use for this? I think it's... Oh yeah, here we go, this piece. So for example, I'd like to adorn the legs with all this lovely frou-frou stuff. As you guys can tell, my vocab is, my vocab's amazing. Right, let's see then if I can get this to work. Not quite like that, more like that. This is a little outfitting trick that I'd gotten from Parker Boy, who does some absolutely amazing outfitters. Like, it didn't matter what alien you'd give Parker Boy, he'd find a way to give it like an actual outfit that looked plausible. I don't know how he did it, but it was amazing. And definitely one of my primary inspirations when it comes to outfitting creatures. Although saying that, just like with buildings and vehicles, I still very much struggle. And right now, I'm struggling to select... Yeah, there you go. Oh, no. To select the grey bits in the middle, the little piston thing. There we go. Right. How's this... Yeah, okay. So every time I mouse over it, the ring kind of just goes out of place. You see that? Where it keeps kind of spazzing out? Right, how about that? Do a bit of that. A lot of adjusting. This will look a little bit silly, but to be fair, look at the rest of the creature. I don't think badass is the thing that we're after for this. Right, yeah, that snapped again. Yep, and again. I really hate the way that the parts just snap over. Or de-snap, or whatever word that you'd like to use to describe it. Okay, like that. Rotate it in a bit, and it just makes absolutely no sense. Okay, what if instead I do it from the back? In fact, if I do it from here, snap it to the bit of clothing, maybe that'll be better? Yeah, that'd be much better. Kinda like that. It looks a bit silly, but it's close enough. I'm not going to be able to get that perfect, just because of the way, due to the nature of the way I've done it, or maybe I'm just being lazy. Either way. Right, so now the whole lovely colonist stuff. Do a bit of this, like maybe this could be the mayor. Although all of them had the same outfit then, so maybe not. When I was going through the chest and armor a little bit, to be honest, I'm not entirely bothered by that. I don't mind if it sticks through. I mean, in the end, they are psychic. They have floating hands. I think they're able to have their clothing impale their skin a little bit. Okay, something like that then. Maybe with, like, could I do something with that maybe? Actually, that might work better. So if I put that there, put this bit here, so at least now the clothing on the chest kind of makes a little bit more sense. Maybe it's like some kind of weird necklace thing that drapes over the chest. I don't really know. Oh, it's funny though, dude, like the how thought-provoking making an outfit for an alien can be. Like, you gotta think about these things. You gotta think about them. And of course, every creation of mine always requires this. Like every outfitted creation always requires a good old top hat. It's just the memes, you know. Any of you who watch my live streams will know exactly what we're referring to. The whole dapper comote. Or maybe I can make a bowler hat. No, that looks awful. Top hat it is. In fact, on top of that, I will add... Is it these, I think? Yeah. I had, somebody made me a steampunk jowie just yesterday as of recording this. Shunkabel, I believe her name is. And I absolutely adored it. And the way that she made the hat in particular was very steampunkish, with the whole goggles wrapped over the top hat. I have personally never, ever, ever made steampunk. I don't even begin to know how to attempt it. But the hat in particular, I was just like, oh, that's really cool. So I'm going to kind of borrow that idea now. I can't remember if there was anything more added to it. I know there's a lot of cogwheels and such, but I don't know how that stuff... I cannot think industrial. That's probably why I make so many damn dragons all the time. What else then can I add? It is just a civilian, like, we're not going to be seeing this very often in the game itself, so I'm okay with this being a bit basic. Just trying to see if maybe I can do a bit of things to the tail. Not looking too bad, actually. So maybe something like that. Yeah? Okay, that looks interesting. And of course, for the one final bit, I'll be using this part again here, just to kind of make a bit of a belt or a wrap or some kind of, you know, clothing. As you guys could tell, I'd be very, very good at fashion, wouldn't I? Yeah, about that. Like that. Okay, and let's see how that looks in total. Or, like, rendered. See how pink the clothing will be. I like it a lot. I like how the white clothing kind of contrasts with the colour of the skin a lot. Like, it really stands out. And of course the jewellery, not the jewellery, the, what's the word, the accessories are blue and yellow as well, so once again it stands out quite nicely. The goggles. The goggles I just realised make no sense, because it's got 4 eyes, not 2, but... do I want to settle? Nah, let's not settle. Let's make these quite a bit bigger then. And make these ones here a little bit smaller. Okay, that's as small as I can make it. But I think that is... I definitely like that. So, that is our civilian. Who sounds very happy with his new outfit. Excellent, and now let's just see if we can see them running around. They're still rendering, but we can kind of see them. If I had the hologram scouts, I'd definitely be using that right now. Are they cheering at me? Yeah, I think they are. That's pretty cool. They're all facing the spaceship and just cheering the floating Grelexia. Or the flying Grelexia, that's right. Interesting. Okay, so that's that done then. So, oh no, actually, one more thing. 2 more things, in fact, but I'm saying one more thing for now. I do need to quickly fix my planner since, I mean, it doesn't have to be the most efficient because, you know, red spice, but I still want it to be somewhat productive. So I'll just chuck down a bunch of houses. One here, no, that's redundant. That one is also redundant, so I guess... factory... and... entertainment? Yeah, whatever. It's not like it matters that much anymore. In here, another very, very broken down city, producing 2 spice an hour? Wow. What's going on here? I don't remember doing that. That doesn't look right. Let's put a house down there instead. Yep, that looks better. Probably the NPCs or the AI placing down those buildings. Because when I did, oh no. When I did take over the remaining few, cities, I did kind of just like skip the whole cutscene and just immediately finish the episode, if I remember correctly. There you go, that's better. Another one here, another very broken down city. Right, just put that there, put entertainment there, and there, put a house, there you go. So now they're super duper happy. Another one here, house, factory, yep, that works, and house? Oh, no. Yep, there you go. In terms of turrets, I think I'll be okay. Do I want to add turrets? Not entirely sure. Yeah, I think I should actually. If I have enough after this, I'll definitely add some turrets. But a factory there, house, 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 and they're still happy enough. Good. What more? Once again, I know I have a lot of redundant placements here. It straight up just does not matter. I just want to fill it out so it's not... Like, I'd rather redundant buildings than complete emptiness, if that makes sense. Or redundant placement and complete emptiness. We've already beaten the Civ stage, and we're going to be making... oh no, that's the wrong one. Yeah, anyway, we've already beaten the Civ stage. We're going to be making, or populating, like, purple planets and green planets and pink ones as soon as I can. So the red ones will very quickly just become, like, meh. Okay, one there, and can I put an entertainment there? Yes I can, perfect. And this city is just completely and utterly empty. Definitely one of the ones that got overrun completely by the epics. Wow. Feels bad, man. Feels bad, man. Yeah, right, let's just balance those 2 out either side. Put 1 there. Yep. That'd probably be better. No, that wouldn't be better. That would be more efficient. Put 1 there. And then, yeah. Again, it's good enough. That's... Yep. Nope. Oh no, not factory. I wanted entertainment for this one. Which I can then put here. Okay, and now I'm just going to add up a few turrets. Right, and there we go. I wasn't able to quite fill up every city, but it's fine though, like it truly is more than good enough. That was overkill, but why not? Why not? Although I did just lose out on all my money. I will fix that in the next episode, but there's one more thing left that we can do, and that is to decorate our captain. Since all I did in the last episode was I gave it the, what do you call it? Oh, hold on. What is that? Is losing interest in a trade route improve your relationship? I will do that in the next episode. That can wait. Oh, that's not very good. How did that happen? I'm not sure. Anyway, as I was saying, I put the toxic crystals here along the neck. Some of you guys suggested I make it here as like crystals. Let me check actually. Do I like get better perks for this? With the bladed knuckles, if you change the the shape with this thing, it would improve its damage. I guess not for this one. Then again, though, it was with the bigger orange thingy. Either way, it doesn't matter. what some of you guys suggested was I put it in the hands, in the floating hands, like some kind of dagger. Which, hell yeah, man, we're doing that. That sounds awesome. If I can rotate it, like put it into a good comfortable position though, that's the question. That's the thing. No, I could do better than that. I definitely can do better than that. Right, what would be a good way for us to do this then? I'm thinking, probably with these bits here. So, have that one there, really flat and close to the hand. Oh, I see, it's to the wrists. Okay, that's why I couldn't position it properly. So on the wrists, I'll have just that bit there. Just kind of loose and vague. Actually, can I put it on the hands? Oh, I can. Right, right. That does make it a little bit more tricky. So some items I can put on the hands, like the actual hands themselves, not the wrists. Some I cannot. Right, is it just because it's a GA item? Is that why? Oh, no, that works. Okay then. We're getting somewhere. We're definitely getting somewhere. Is there anything else that would work? No. Okay, let's try... I don't normally have to think about these kind of things. It's definitely interesting. I'm gonna try this. So this is like some kind of, trying to think of the best way to describe this. You know how like with certain boxes, they have like the tissue or bandaging or whatever it is wrapped around their hands? So they can punch and not bruise their knuckles? I'm thinking something to that similar effect. Not literally that idea for this, but a similar idea. Kind of clasped around the creature's hands. And that way, that will give me like the aesthetic. So, you know, it doesn't look like I just slapped parts on. But it'll also give me the function that I can now stack other pieces onto it. It'll make a bit more sense. So, with that in mind, in fact, I need to do it with both hands, don't I? So one there, and, oh, camera spin, sorry. And I'll put the other one here. It makes, like, it doesn't have to be absolutely dead on perfect, but it makes some sense. I like that. Right, so how's the best way to do this? I was going to use this piece as no for the hilt of the dagger. So let's try that then. Kind of like that perhaps, or actually, thinking about the way it'd be positioned in the hand, probably further backwards like that maybe? I can always change it again in a moment. And now I can put the actual toxic crystal on the screw itself. Do that. And now it looks like the hilt is adorned in crystals. That's pretty cool, or in gems. Which goes really well actually for our whole building theme. That works really nicely. What if I put it backwards like that? Would that... Okay, that does actually look better that way. Kind of like that maybe? Well, the only downside now is that the gems are backwards. I can't do anything about that. Right. This is interesting. Like, I'm not used to having to think about all these little factors. I kind of just like... As you guys know, I kind of just like shove spikes onto a dragon and call it a day. I quite like that. That's interesting. And of course, for the perfect finishing touches, a bit of a tuft coming out of the hilt of the dagger, kind of like a sword. Yeah, like that. And now I'll put another one on the hands down there. I like it. I like it a lot. Maybe I can make these ones... Oh yeah, like that. So that has a bit of a variety to it. Or now I'm kind of feeling like those ones should be the long ones. Maybe these ones could be the more bladed ones. No, I think, yeah, these will be the bladed ones, since I kind of feel like that these longer ones are a bit more longer range, or you've got a longer range in your abilities. These ones kind of a lot more like shanking with a dagger. Oh dear, oh dear. Alright, what more can I add then? What more can I add? So I was saying about the whole armor thing earlier for the civilians and the lack of armor for them. But for this one, since he's a captain, it's kind of out and about doing things, I feel like he does need some armor. Maybe these pieces here. To go with a similar theme to, like, these ones here, maybe? So yeah, maybe something like that. Actually, I think it looked better, yeah, in that position looked better there. And another one at the back, just so it encompasses the entire creation. Like that, and then do the same thing on the back legs as well. So, you know, you gotta have protection from every angle. Well, I think the back is quite well protected in all the spikes. Alright, cool, cool. Not bad, not bad. What more can I add? I feel like I'm asking that question a lot. Maybe something there just to kind of erase it off the skin and I can put an item here. Maybe... That gives me an idea. So what if I do add some of these then, maybe? No, that seems a little bit strange. But let's roll with it for a moment. Let's just keep trying and see if maybe we can get something decent looking out of this. Like that, and I was thinking maybe we kind of bolt it into place with something like this. Yeah, like that maybe? I mean, it definitely looks interesting. Can I make that any closer to the body? No, I'd have to make it smaller to make it closer. And I was thinking... not really sure what I was thinking at this stage. I wonder if I can do anything with these. Like that? I guess that's something kind of strange. Maybe add those onto the shoulders, but nah, maybe not. I don't know. I think that's okay for now until we unlock like more captain pieces, so we can really utilize them more and more. But for now, for like the early stages of a captain, I think this has a bit of a charm, or maybe just something completely and utterly ridiculous. I'm not very sure anymore. Let's just see how it looks like when it's fully rendered. Okay, so like I said, this is an early captain. He's new to the space stage. He's a new pilot and everything. His adventures are still small and young, but it's got its great big opposing swords. Oh wow, look at that! How cool is that? Yep, I think that's good. I think that is good. Right then guys, and I think that pretty much summarises it for this episode. Or this 0.5 episode. I'm not going to linger any further since I've seen, like as you guys saw just before the captain part, our relationship is dropping with another empire, so I better not waste any time. I'll sort that out in the next episode. And as always guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I know it was a very different thing that we tried today, but there's a lot of mixed responses. Some people love seeing the creating, some people want to skip it, some people want to sped up, you know, here and there, so have this bonus episode as a whole so it no longer conflicts with the actual campaign itself. Hopefully this is one of those hopefully makes everyone happy kind of things. I don't know, I'm trying. But yeah, as always, hope you enjoyed the episode and I'll see you guys in the next campaign one. Hopefully doing some adventures and such. Have a lovely day and I'll see you next time.